Good morning, guys. Good morning. A lot of disciplined trading going on in the room, so that's really good. A lot of you guys have improved for the past many months, and a lot of quality trades being taken, and which is good. Which is good. Makes us happy when we see that. So, congrats to you guys, learning, and learning how to be patient as well, right? Which is the most important key in trading, I think, because the stock market's not gonna go nowhere. It was here before we were born. It'll be here when you're gone, right? So patience is must. Now, if you guys read the report, futures are up nice and green overnight, and we do have the CPI numbers tomorrow. Let's see how today shapes up and what are the possibilities tomorrow. Then we'll go through the morning report tomorrow. Obviously, how the day might shape up, right? But now for this week has started green. It looks nice. A lot of bull flags. Market's holding up. So congrats. And SPX, just very quickly, I won't spend too much time on SPX today. I will go on some equity plays. There's something that I was looking at, some plays that are discounted and can pay big on a small move, right? But for SPX right now, we're trading near 45.50, I believe, pre-market, right? And above there's a straight magnet towards 4600. It is likely that we visit 4600 today. In the morning, do we gap rip up, or do we come down and fill the gap first, maybe? Right? Personally, I'm expecting that we come down towards 45.34, 45.20 level, between here somewhere, and then make a reversal base and then go back towards 4600. I think that might happen, which is still a volatile day. So volatility is still expected today, right? So there will be a lot of opportunities, but these are the levels on SPX. Underneath 45.50, we have 45.42 as support, then we have 45.34, and then all the way towards 45.20, and of course 4500. All right, and 4600 looks likely today based on this move, right? The pull, and which is the high of February 2nd. All right, the high was 45.95, so there's a good chance that we might visit, and which happens to be a 50 MA as well, 50-day moving average. All right, and then tomorrow on CPI, we see if we reject this, we come down, or do we gap above it and continue higher. All right, so that we'll get to know tomorrow. Qs, same thing. Right, nice little looking chart. We're here, and now we're probably going to approach above 360, which we're holding well, 363, and then 365 will be hard. If we hold above 365, we have towards 370, but 360 will act as strong support. All right, now 360 will act as strong support. If Qs get 360, now for example, if Qs happen to dip in the morning, it gets 360. It's a reasonable time or place to buy calls for a scalp, in my opinion. All right, so 360, keep an eye on it. If we do dip in the morning, and if we rip up, then we rip up. But if you're trying to catch some calls, if we get the 360 dip, you'll get some cheaper premiums, and then you can probably buy some calls. I might take some. I'll alert on the voice channel. And if you're listening now, you can probably make this play, write it down, and see if it happens. Right. Some equity plays that I do want to go over first. We'll go over a few charts. Number one is Clove, right? The reason being is this stock has taken a big beating. Right, it has taken a big beating. I'm just going to remove all my drawings, and the stock is down almost from the high 20s, all the way towards $2. Right, it's down 900% from the top, or 90%, if you want to call it that way. Right, now here on the weekly, it's kind of building a base. The MACD wants to curl up, and now on stocks like this, right? Let me put it here. Let's say the stock's trading at 270, right? Or let's say the stock's trading at 280, for example. How do you do a ratio equity trade on this stock now, right? Ratio equity trade. If you like trading equities, to the upside, limited, there's unlimited potential. But if you want to take a little risk on an equity, that might pay big. What you could do is, look for an entry around 270 if you get it. So entry around 270, and you'd probably put a stop loss near 250, a strict stop loss 250 or 249, because sometimes they poke below, right? You want to manage your stop loss at 249 or manage here, one or the other. All right, you don't have to stop out. If the level is held, it comes back up, then obviously it goes up, right? So now you're 20 cents or 21 cents you're putting on the stop loss, but the upside potential here is all the way towards $374, right? So upside here is to $4, right? Which is almost $1.30 on 20-cent stop loss, right? So the odds here are 6-1 in your favor if the trade works out in the coming weeks, right? And then you can scale out on the way. If it doesn't work, you take this 20-cent loss, and if you make 5 trades like this, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get 2 right. All right, and if you get those 2 right, that leaves you in net profits by a big margin. All right, so that's how the equity trades are done. The ratio has to be in your favor, and the ratio here is roughly almost 6.5 to 1 in your favor. All right. So your stop loss 20 cents, but your profit taking could be $1.30 plus, right? Or scale out along the way. All right. So that's number one. So Clove is number one on my list, right? And then Wish also on the weekly. It doesn't look too great. I know it does not look too great, but if it happens to make a reversal, if it happens to hold here, I would not buy Wish right now, but if it happens to make a reversal here and it holds above 250, right? If 250 is held, right? I don't like this company. The company came down a lot, right? But we're just doing the equity trades. For us, only trading matters. If 250 is held, there's a good chance this can see 350 in the coming weeks, right? And then maybe it can head lower. But if 250 is not held, it will go lower, obviously. So you have to be very patient with the entry. All right. There is a lot of selling pressure. Maybe you get this at $1.50. Maybe they bring this more down. So you wait until it sets up. But right here, this is something that I'm talking about, right? Here, somebody that was trading equity could have bought it at 5 and sold at 630, took his profits. Then who cares what happens after, right? So something like this is possible. It might shoot towards the $3, right? And you don't want to go heavy in these, right? You want to treat them as trades. If it does not work out, you stop out. As simple as that. Right, the overall ratio will be in your favor, where you should take profits in more trades that you take. All right, and then Tilray, some wheat stocks, right, which actually basing much better, I think. Right, on the weeklies, I think they're shaping up a little bit. There's another stock that you want to keep an eye on. This is a very strong support level here. Right, $5 is a very strong support level on Tilray. I can't believe it's at $5 again. Right, but anything's possible in the market. But this zone is very, very strong on Tilray, the $5 base, right? If it holds above here, your entry can be above here, above $6, and then this can probably hit towards $8, I think, in the coming weeks. All right, it can go much higher, obviously, in the coming years. I have no idea, but $8 looks possible on this name in the coming weeks, right? And that could be a great equity trade. And if it doesn't work out, obviously you stop out, right? Your ratio here, stop out will be maybe $6. Again, 20-30 cents, but the ratio to the upside is $2, right? So Tilray is another name that you want to keep an eye on. Turkey, great job on the options. I think he nailed it at the bottom right here. He called it, right? And nice little reversal. And then we have Cgc Canopy Growth also, right, as strong support. And this is also a very strong support. It's trading at 769. If you happen to catch a $1-2 move to the upside on this name, this can also pay big. All right. So Cgc is another name, but just make sure you guys understand the ratio when trading equity. Stop out if the trade does not work in your favor. You don't want to hold on to a loser because it can go much lower. We don't know. All right. So just keep it in mind. And Twitter is also another stock I was looking at for equity. Yes, right. It's a little expensive, but I think they have earnings tomorrow. Facebook came down a lot. Twitter, Facebook has other issues going on. Twitter is also at a very strong and attractive level. Tomorrow post earnings, if they post some good numbers and the market base is here, this is one name that can probably head back towards $45-50, and you can catch that $5-7 trade on equity. All right, Twitter does have earnings tomorrow. Is the first CEO. Let's see what happens. I will not buy it. After earnings is when I want to look into Twitter. All right, so tomorrow after earnings, if the market sets up well and Twitter reports good numbers, if it holds, this is a potentially good name towards $45-46, and then we see what happens. Right, the stock came down from 74 to 35. It's not just going to go down all the way straight in a line. They will give us some bounces, relief bounces, some rallies, and then they'll see if they want to sell it off again. Right, so here is at a very attractive level. You place your stop loss, and then you can get a $5-7 move to the upside. Pins is another one. Right, a nice move, a big move down. Right, and now it's at a very attractive level. If this support is held, this is a long support right here on pins. Right. A hold under 28, 27 will be very hard, right? So if it continues holding this base, there's a good chance that this stock visits 33, 34 in the coming weeks, all right? And I think it's very likely, but again, you want to wait for the reversal. The earnings came out, just do some analysis. And this, if it gets about $28, if Twitter reports positive tomorrow, this is one name that can probably make a big move towards $40. All right, PayPal for bigger accounts, right? Equity can also be traded. They do have some negative news, that came before, and then ever since the pins news basically was a nightmare for PayPal, I think, when the pins rumor started, and ever since they just sold this name off. Not only this, but many names, right? But here it's at a very strong support level, and there's a good chance that it can bounce $15-20 from here, which is a 10-20% gain on equity alone, right? And obviously you want to put a stop loss here if it does not work out. And some plays for today. Tesla. If you're looking to play options, right? So I'm just gonna remove all my drawings. Tesla, I'm just gonna give you guys a quick play here for today, right? So pay attention. If Tesla gets if Tesla gets 925 on a morning dip, good chance to scalp calls, right? There's a good chance that you can scalp calls if Tesla gets 925-ish, around 925, 927, 923, right? $5 up, down. But around 925-ish, if it gets that dip, there's a good chance to scalp calls to the upside. The market bias is completely to the upside today, right? So we see what happens, right? There's a lot of puts that were bought and they're probably going to take them to zero. If you read the gamma report, that's from there. So Tesla, 925, keep an eye out. If we get the dip, there's a good chance to scalp calls. Amazon, if it gets 3230, 3230-ish, good chance to scalp calls on this as well. Around 3230-ish, I think in the morning we might get that dip. If we don't, that's fine. I'll miss this play. But 3230-ish is the level that you want to keep an eye on. DKNG, T called this name out, and the beautiful chart. Very beautiful chart, very beautiful bounce, right? A nice little inverse head and shoulders pattern, sort of, right? And this can definitely see, I think, back into this zone, which is $28. This can be played as an equity play or leaps on options, right? And you can have a stop loss. So DKNG, keep an eye on it, right? And I think in the morning, if it gets 22, I have the levels written here. So 2215-ish, you're looking at to scalp calls, right? So 2250-ish on DKNG, guys, right? On DKNG, 2250-ish, if it holds, we can probably see 28, 20, 29 on DKNG, right? So keep an eye on this name. Twitter, I already went over. It has earnings tomorrow, so let's see what happens. Uber has earnings today. It's a little green in pre-market. Now, Lyft had earnings. You know, Lyft said that their riders, they fell short, right? And Uber has I think more business than Lyft, given their Uber Eats and whatnot. So today I have the strangles for May. I'm gonna hold them through. I'm not gonna touch them because I think the $5-6 move to one side is coming and it's gonna happen this week, next week, or the week after, and then we'll take some profits on our strangles. But Uber, if they report well today and the market holds, Uber can probably see all the way towards this zone, guys, which is roughly above $40. And if we get 40 plus hold, and then it gets to 45, that will be great for our strangles, and we can take some good gains on those, because those calls will have premium for next earnings, and plus they will go up by a lot in value because the delta increase will be crazy, right? So if we get 46, 45 in the coming days, if Uber rips to the upside and the market holds, that's one scenario. If Uber reports bad and the market dips to the downside, then obviously we have all the way towards $30, right? Or this support 32. Then they'll be up anyways, because we're strangles, we're playing both ways, so we don't care what happens. IWM strangles will be up nice at the open. It's gonna hit my target. Our entry was $2 and my target was $2.70 or so. I will get rid of my strangles for $2.70 and then I'm gonna roll out to new strikes, right? The reason being is because I got my move. I got this move on those strangles. I'm just gonna quickly go over something. I got my move here on those strangles. We entered right here around 200, I think, or around these levels, right? We got this big move, and now we got another continuation move of $5 in a row. I don't want IWM coming back to 203, right? Because my puts are fire now, and then the calls are going to lose value, then the strangles will go down, and there's time decay. So I caught this move. I'm going to sell my strangles here for profits, and then I'm going to roll out to different strikes, right? As simple as that. That's how on indices, you have to manage your strangles regularly. However, if I get the continuation move in the morning, I get a rip, right? I might hold for a bit longer and then take a bigger exit with bigger profits. So I'll see what happens there, right? And so guys, the market here, it's okay. Shop, I have some requests, I think. So shop will go over. The market looks good, is basing for now, right? For short term, obviously. Shop has strong support. If it continues holding above these levels, I think above 900, 1,000 is possible. 1,000 is definitely possible, and then we see what happens after, right? 1,000 is definitely possible. And I just want to go over one thing with you guys. Right, the market right now looks great. It looks many people are getting bullish, right? I'm not against you if you're bullish. I am not against you if you're bearish. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm just playing day to day, just looking at the macro picture overall. I don't want to get bulled up. I don't want to be bearish. If the market is bullish for the next 2 days, I'll be a bull for the next 2 days. As simple as that. Right now, when I was playing Baba, and on this chart, right? I'm just gonna share something with you guys. Even SPX, if you guys are playing, if you're looking at indices, SPY or whatever, right? Pretend like this chart never happened. This never happened. The market here, it looks bullish on BABA if you were to play here, that yes, it's holding well, it's going to continue up. But what happened? They took it up and then boom, more downside came, right? So sometimes the charts set up bullish, right? Like as SPY right now, if I go on it, it looks very good, right? It looks like it's built a base, it's going to go up, which it is, right? Let's take advantage of it. Why not, right? It's going to go up, but don't forget that something like this is possible in the coming weeks. They'll take this up here, it'll be bullish, it'll be nice. They might take it up here again, right? It'll be nice, and then they might give a little reversal candle here, whatever might happen. I have no idea, I'm just guessing here, like just trying to show you guys. And then there could be a bigger downside in the coming weeks. Have this scenario in your mind. The reason being is it will help you manage your positions better, and you know, you can, that's something that you should have in the back of your mind. All right. If it holds here and builds a bullish case, and we will see the news, we'll see how the positioning is happening, then we'll play to the upside. We don't care, right? But right now the market is holding for the next 1-2 weeks, or until at least into OPEX. Right, on OPEX things can be completely different. I have no idea. Like these names, DKNG, Twitter, Uber, they might see some short-term runs. C Limited, you know, they're showing us little reversal signs. Take advantage of them while it lasts. All right, and if it continues higher, then we'll roll out to further stress, playing more upside, right? So right now it's day-to-day trading. There is no one direction in the market. I personally don't have one, at least, right? And then yeah, okay. And NEO, also another stock that is building a beautiful base, just like most stocks, right? We looked at DKNG, it looks like the same chart. I think the market is all right now same. And NEO also, if it holds above 25, guys, we can probably see $28, $29 on NEO. For short term at least, and that's a big bounce if you catch it, right? And stop loss will be under 24 bucks for me on NEO, right? C Limited, we nailed it. LB nailed his calls, I nailed my spreads. It was beautiful, right? And right now it's at 166, 167 pre-market. If you're still holding the spreads, you should be up 100% in the morning. And if you're holding calls alone, you should also be up massive, right? So we caught SC right here. It was holding beautifully. 156, 157 was the level. I took my profits yesterday. I had to go, and plus 165 was a profit-taking zone for me. I was happy with my play, and now I'll see how it bases here. I may buy some more spreads again. All right. So C Limited, as long as it holds above 163 is the level, guys. So first it was 157. Now 163 is the key level. All right. If 163 is held, we might see 180. And if SC dips to 163 in the morning, it might be a chance to buy calls. If the market holds up, then it might go higher from there. All right, so 163 will be the key level. And Nvidia, Roger, last request. Then I gotta get back. Chips holding well. 250 will be a magnet for a while. 250 will be a magnet for a while. Will be a magnet for a while. And as long as we hold above 250, case to 270 possible. All right. So Nvidia, if you're playing the premiums, they're a little expensive. I would recommend vertical spread. I would probably buy the 255 calls and sell the 265s or something, right? Because if the market does not do something, if it goes sideways, your spreads will hold value while the calls will lose a lot of premium, right? So just keep that in mind, okay? Because on SC, my 160 calls, you know, I sold them at break even, but 170 is where I made my profits for selling and buying them cheaper. That's why my spread went up, right? So in this market, I recommend spreads. It will be easy for you to hold through if the market goes sideways. So if there's a premium loss, at least the value for the spread is held. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys back in the chat, live trading on voice chat. Protect your gains, protect your accounts. No need to rush. Tonka, happy birthday, brother. I wish you all the best. Love your participation in the group, and we'll see you guys back in the chat.